Hey guys, Brian Hill with The Complete Combatant. This is Active Self-Protection Extra, and you're here for Mantis Dry Fire Monday. And I've been on the road training. I've been out teaching and training. This is my only pistol class of the whole year. I took ECQC with Craig Douglas, and I went to the primary and secondary summit and kind of sampled everybody's things. But this is the only pistol training I really got the whole year because it's been busy. It's been busy, and it was fantastic. I went to AJ Zito and Tim Herron's Train for Mastery. And this is a diagnostic class that allows you to gather data and learn how to train at a higher rate. Something right down my alley, of course. And it's always good to get extra eyes to look at you, somebody outside yourself.
Ammo is crazy expensive and hard to find, and dry fire is life. I use the Mantis X10 to keep my handgun skills strong, and it makes dry practice fun and challenging. Check it out at the link below.
The one problem we truly have is we can't see our blind spots. That's why they're blind spots. And you need somebody else to constantly point it out. What happens in training is a lot of people prepare you for growth. Much like gardening, you got to get the soil ready, you got to fertilize it, you got to plant the seeds, you got to water them, you got to take care of them, got to make sure they get a lot of sunlight, and then eventually we get some growth. And this hit me at the perfect time. So in a way it was said to me was different, which helped tremendously. So I'm really grateful to AJ and Tim for helping me with this, and it's a great class. You guys should try it out. So here's what we're talking about is I have too much tension in my primary hand, okay? And it regulates my trigger finger, keeps me at a certain split ratio, and then I make excuses why they should always be slow. And I don't think splits are important for self-defense, but I want maximum efficiency with minimum effort so I can put all that energy into processing. And that means that I'm shooting at the speed of sight instead of the speed of what my body is capable of. I want to be able to see. My finger has to be ready to press the trigger. On the accuracy side, if I have too much tension in my dominant arm, then it's going to go into my trigger finger and I'll be moving that frame. So what we're going to do here is I've got 3 squares set up. All right, I'm going to shoot the top one, the bottom one, and the middle one in some order. And we'll try it with a lot of tension, with no tension, and the right amount of tension and see what the results are. I'm going to measure that 2 ways. What does the pattern of 6 shots look like? What does the timer say about my reaction time to the beep? And what do my splits say about my efficiency? All right. Anything that's very consistent is what I'm looking for. Now, this is the newest part of my skill. So the old part of my skill was too much tension. So that looks pretty good still. All right. Way too relaxed. It's not my favorite because it really climbs high. So I'm going to do that on the top box. And then this one is new and fragile. So it's hard to do on the camera, but maybe it's something you guys need. And I hope it is. All right. So 6 rounds on each shot. Okay. All right, so on this first one, I'm going to go way too relaxed. I'm just going to let everything relax. Muscle's really going to climb. I'm going to do it on top box because it's probably going to walk right out of the box unless I really slow down on seeing and getting the dot back to where I was. The timer is set up in a random pattern between 1.5 and 3 seconds. It will go off, giving me enough time to get ready to do this. All right, stand by. Excellent. All right, guys, so we got 6 shots there. Reaction to the timer was a 26, right where human reaction time is. Nothing wrong with that. From there, it was a 25. Tractor's going down the road. After that was 23, 20, 24, and 20. So it's taken me a lot of time. One shot was high. That's probably the lower scores on that where they start to climb up. Okay, so it was way too relaxed. Now, what we need to see is what does way too tense look like. That's even harder, I think, sometimes for some of us, is what is way too tense like. Okay, so I'm going to really tighten this up. I'm going to put as much tension as I can. I'm going to shoot the bottom one because it may drive down, and that'll make sense for us. All right, way too tense. Funneling the old Brian now. Everything's in the box. That was good. The reaction time was a 32 because it took some time to overcome that tension that was there. All right, I had a 32, a 22, a 23, an 18, a 24, and 18. So we're seeing it really erratic because my finger's out of control. Now, everything was in there, but when we look at the pattern, I have a drift to the left, which I've seen in my bill drills constantly. My first, second, and third shot are erratic, and then I kind of settle down at it. And if you watch the camera, I kind of got pushed back because I was really bearing down on it, and it allowed the gun to drive me around. There was nothing to absorb it. So I want to be able to absorb it. So if I don't want to, I'm going to try to do is relax. As much as I can, I'm going to try to relax with my dominant arm only. So dominant arm relaxing. Support hand gripping as tight as it can. Let the finger work. Let's see if we can get this one. All right. Okay, one came out slightly low. All right, but it was a 20. My reaction time was a 20, which is significantly lower than a 32. All right. Imagine if, you know, if you shoot a bullet every 0.2 and you get 0.12 to the other guy, he's way ahead of you, all right? And then my second split was a 20, 21, then a 16, okay? Then a 20, then a 20. So very even across the board. Everything was good. Everything's straight up and down. I had one that dropped slightly low. I think I got out of rhythm with it and had to push it back down, so that's okay. Let's look at the target real quick. All right. So this was the way too relaxed. As you can see, got one way out of the box right here, way too relaxed. This was way too tense. And if you, this one is not in this group, it was from the other one, okay? These guys right here was way too tense, and you can see it drifting over. And then this was the last group that I shot here where they were working in, okay? So, not too bad, not too bad. Maybe have a high and low, but it was much more centered. And then we can see that I was much more efficient. Everything stopped at the same time. So I was able to fire 6 shots. The total was what? 118. All right, so that's a good bill drill. That means I got 5 shots out in a second, okay? And then I was seeing it clearly. I could track it. But I got to really relax this arm, and I have to really focus on it. Let this one do all the gripping. Let this one relax. Let it run the trigger. So that's my throttle. These are my brakes here. Get it together. I hope that helps you guys. You know, sometimes when you do something for a long time, you assume everybody knows the same information. It's simply not true. So with this video, I hope that's something you can practice. Now get on your Mantis. You're going to see it in your aiming patterns when you have too much tension, and when you press the trigger, there will be a dip or a dunk in it, maybe off low and left or off low and right if you're left-handed. When you're too relaxed, you're going to see that it's hard to zero in on the target, but when you get just the right amount of tension, you'll be able to shoot really good shots in the high 90s. And then the other side is that compressed trigger brake drill, getting your finger on there and reacting to it. Boom, boom. More reaction, quicker you can react. All right, guys, I hope that helps you. It's a good drill. I don't know if you want to do it. I hope so. I hope it's something that maybe appeals to you. It's simple. You don't have to do 6 rounds. You can just constantly work on getting the right amount of tension between your hands. If anybody tells you a percentage, it's just, there's no such thing. Human beings don't work on percentage. So what I'm trying to do is feel how much I can get away with on each side. How much is too tense for the right arm, and how much pressure do I need to apply to the left arm? And that way I'll make progress. Guys, I hope you'll never stop working hard and trying to find new ways to improve. Like I said, this is my shooting class for the year, and you know, it was great to have diagnostic drills, and I owe it to my teachers to come back and practice and honor the time we spent together. I think that's an important thing that people often overlook. You don't go to class to get better alone. You go also to learn things that you can work on, and it's up to you to come back and do the work. All right, guys, Active Self-Protection Extra. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. I hope that helps you guys. Use your Mantis. It's really a great tool. It'll save you from sitting out here and shooting 6 rounds at a time, but this is a great way to measure it. We want to practice in dry fire, and then we want to confirm in live fire. The great thing with the Mantis too is the recoil meter will actually give you some input on how much control you're getting and tracking, and you'll see something outside of yourself and your just eyesight. Another great way is get a camera going like this and watch what happens as you shoot it. All right, guys, Brian Hill with The Complete Combatant. And as always, measure, refine, and perform.